Death falls madly in love with a man. Hello, my name is Alexandra and I am known as Death in the world of the living. You know that I never imagined what fate had prepared for me. Listen to me, this is my love story. At the ends of the earth, beyond the boundaries of time and space, lay the realm of death, known as Elysium. There, in a beautiful house built of memories and dreams, lived Alexandra, who was an eternally young and beautiful young lady who was commonly called in the world of the living as Death, destined to guide souls to the afterlife. In her home, surrounded by antique books and a garden of beautiful flowers. One day, Alexandra felt a familiar feeling. The hourglass that marked the time of souls was coming to an end for an elderly woman in the mortal world. Alexandra got up, left the book she was reading on a table and went to the exit of her home, which was after a dense forest and a huge cemetery. Dressed in a dark cloak that moved like mist, Alexandra crossed the threshold of Elysium and entered the portal that would lead her to the world of the living. It was time to fulfill his destiny once again. At the same time, a 35-year-old man named Daniel and his mother Maria rushed to the hospital. The joy of the recent feast Mary had organized for her husband, family, and friends had faded, replaced by intense worry. Maria, who had been so radiant during the celebration, suddenly began to feel unwell, forcing Daniel to make the decision to take her to the emergency room without delay. At the hospital, the doctor quickly checks on Maria and calls Daniel to speak privately. "Doctor, Mr. Daniel, we have identified that your mother has suffered a stroke. We need to take her into surgery right away to try to relieve the pressure on her brain." "Daniel, is there any chance that he will recover?" "Doctor, we will do everything we can in the surgery, but I must be honest, the odds are not in our favor. It is a very delicate situation." "Daniel, please do everything you can." "Doctor, I understand. We will prepare her for surgery right away. Be prepared for any outcome." Desperate, Daniel decided to go for a walk to clear his mind. He headed to the park that was right across from the hospital, seeking some peace in the midst of his storm. While walking, immersed in his thoughts, he accidentally bumped into a young woman. Daniel, surprised, "I'm sorry. I didn't see you." Alexandra, looking into his eyes, feeling something strange, "No, don't worry, it was my fault." Their eyes met, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Alexandra felt an inexplicable connection, something she had never experienced in her immortal existence. Then they both went their separate ways, each lost in their own thoughts and emotions. The next day, Daniel arrives at the hospital before I start his mother's surgery and talks to her. Maria is lying in the hospital bed, connected to several monitors. Daniel sits next to him, holding his hand tenderly. Daniel, smiling very excitedly, "Mom, the doctors say it will be a smooth surgery. I know that everything is going to be fine." Mary, looking at Daniel fondly, "Son, thank you for everything. I'm so proud of you." Daniel, squeezing her hand, "I'll always be here for you, Mom." Mary, "I know, son. And no matter what, I want you to know that I will always be with you, in your heart." Daniel, "Don't worry, Mom, everything is going to be fine. This is an easy and routine surgery for any doctor. See you in a little while, and then we will go for a walk as usual." Mary, "Thank you, son. I love you." After a few hours of anxious waiting, the doctor returns with a solemn expression. "Doctor, Mr. Daniel, I'm so sorry. We tried our best, but his mother did not survive the surgery." Daniel, heartbroken, "No. No way. Doctor, I am very sorry for your loss. If you need support or someone to talk to, we're here to help." Daniel, nodding slowly, with tears in his eyes, "Thank you, doctor. I appreciate everything you did for her." Daniel slowly enters the room where his mother, Maria, lies on the bed, already lifeless. With a heavy heart, he approaches to say goodbye for the last time. On the opposite edge of the bed, notice Alexandra's figure. Daniel, surprised, "You? What are you doing here?" Alexandra, looking at him serenely, "I work here at the hospital. I am in charge of filling out the documents of the people who die." Daniel, "Do you take care of that?" Alexandra, "Yes, it's part of my job." I'm here to make sure everything is in order and families have the support they need during this difficult time. Daniel, crying, kisses his mother for the last time. Goodbye, Mom, we will see each other again soon. After that, Alexandra felt something strange, something she had never felt at the Elysium or anywhere else, connections and even emotions when she is close to him. 2 days later, family and friends gather around Mary's grave as the funeral service takes place. Daniel is standing, staring at the casket, trying to find comfort in the midst of his grief. Just as they begin to lower the coffin, Daniel notices Alexandra among the attendees. She is watching him from a safe distance. Intrigued and attracted by her presence, he decides to approach her. Daniel, in a low and surprised voice, "You. What are you doing here?" Alexandra, "It says I don't know. Alone. I felt like I should be here. I wanted to see you." Daniel, confused but comforted, "You wanted to see me? We barely know each other." Alexandra, smiling softly, "Maybe we don't know each other well, but there are times in life when we follow our instinct. And my instinct told me that I should be here, with you." Daniel, looking into the eyes and feeling a connection, "You're right. We have not had the opportunity to present ourselves properly. I'm Daniel." Alexandra, smiling, "I'm Alexandra. And I'm here for you, Daniel." Sometimes, a sympathetic presence can make all the difference. Daniel, taking a deep breath, "Thank you, Alexandra. Your presence comforts me, in a way I can't explain." Alexandra, gently touching his arm, "I'm here to support you, Daniel. Whenever you need someone to talk to, I'll be around." Daniel, nodding, feeling unexpected comfort, "I appreciate it so much, Alexandra. Thank you." At that moment, Daniel feels the need for deeper comfort and, without thinking twice, reaches out and hugs Alexandra tightly. Alexandra wraps him in a warm embrace, allowing him to find some relief from his pain. At that exact moment, Alexandra is overcome with doubt, feeling the warmth and despair in Daniel's embrace. It was an unusual feeling for her, something she had never experienced so intensely. As she hugged him back, many feelings that she was unaware of come to light, her thoughts and emotions began to run. Alexandra asks herself, "What's going on? I shouldn't feel that way. I am death, my existence is to guide souls, not to get emotionally involved. But here I am, feeling something strange, something human. Why does this man affect me so much? I have seen so many souls depart, I have witnessed countless farewells, but none had touched me in this way. Daniel. Their pain is so palpable, their need for comfort is so real. Is it possible that there is something in him that makes me question my purpose? This world of the living, with all its emotions and connections, has always been alien to me. But now, hugging him, I feel a connection that I can't ignore. Is it possible that, for the first time, I am understanding what it means to be human? I can't let this distract me from my mission. I must continue to be the guide of souls, the constant presence on the threshold between life and death. But maybe, just maybe, I can allow myself to feel this moment, to understand what it is to have a heart that beats with compassion. The day after the funeral, Alexandra walks down the street, preparing to return to Elysium. As she walks, her mind is occupied with thoughts about Daniel and the strange connection she feels with him. Suddenly, while turning a corner, he accidentally bumps into someone. Daniel, surprised, "You again?" Alexandra, equally surprised, "Daniel. I didn't expect to find you here." Daniel, "What are you doing here?" Alexandra, trying to stay calm, "I've finished my homework here. I'm back home, which isn't a place a long way from here." Daniel tells him, he just needed to get out. "I still can't believe my mother is gone." Alexandra replies, "I'm so sorry, Daniel. I can imagine how hard it must be for you." Daniel, "No, you can't. You don't know what it's like to lose someone so close." Alexandra, looking at him sadly, "You're right, I don't know exactly how you feel. But I've seen many people go through this, and I know the pain can be overwhelming." Daniel, "I hate death. I hate everything it represents." Alexandra, gently, believe me when I tell you that your mother is in a better place. His suffering is over and he now rests in peace. Daniel, staring at her, how can you be so sure? Alexandra, I know she was a great mother and an excellent woman. Daniel, thank you, Alexandra. I don't know why, but I love your presence. Alexandra, I also love to see you. Daniel, seeing that she starts to leave, are you leaving? Alexandra, yes, I must go home. It's a place a long way from here. Daniel, I get it. Take care, Alexandra. Alexandra, goodbye, Daniel, take care of yourself, it was a pleasure. When Alexandra had advanced a few steps, she suddenly feels Daniel take her hand. As they turn, they both look at each other intensely and, without further words, kiss passionately, finding a moment of comfort and connection in the midst of pain. Alexandra thinks, what's going on? This is a kiss. I never imagined feeling something so powerful, so real. I am deaf, how is it possible that I feel that way? Every time I'm around him, I feel like my world is shaking. This kiss. It's as if all the barriers between us are vanishing. I'm in love, I know, I feel it in the depths of my immortal being. What do I do now? I can't stay, I have to go back to the Elysium. But to leave it, to leave this feeling, it is unimaginable. Their pain, their passion, their humanity, everything attracts me, envelopes me. For the first time I feel afraid. Fear of what this means, of what I might lose. But I also feel hope, a spark of something bigger, something I've never felt before. I don't want this moment to end, I don't want to let go. But can I really afford this? After talking and sharing a delicious meal and many deep conversations, Daniel and Alexandra decide to go for a walk. The park is surrounded by tall trees and the ground covered with a soft green lawn. The cool breeze caresses their faces as they lie down with their fingers intertwined, enjoying the tranquility of the place. Unable to resist any longer, they begin to kiss passionately. Alexandra, Daniel, I don't know what to do. I have to go, but I don't want to, I can't. Daniel, you don't have to go, Alexandra. Stay here with me. Alexandra, struggling with her emotions, my house is far away, and my duties are calling. But every time I'm with you, everything else seems insignificant. Daniel, don't think about that now. Alone, stay with me. Alexandra, crying, I'm scared, Daniel. Afraid of what might happen, of what I might lose if I stay here. Daniel, hugging her tightly, don't be afraid. What matters is this moment, us. I don't want to lose you, I really love you, Alexandra. I don't know how it happened so quickly, but it's the truth. I love you. Alexandra, gaping, speechless, Daniel, I love you too. The next day, the sun gently streams in through the windows, illuminating the room with warm light. Daniel wakes up and heads to the kitchen, where he finds Alexandra preparing breakfast. Seeing her, she can't help but smile and approaches to kiss her. Daniel, smiling, good morning, my love. Alexandra, smiling as she kisses him, good morning, Daniel. I hope you're hungry. Daniel, hugging her, I'm always hungry when you're around. They kiss passionately, enjoying the moment. However, Alexandra can't help but feel worried about her new situation. Alexandra, there's something we need to talk about. This situation. It's new to me. I don't know how to handle it. Daniel, you don't have to be afraid. We can face this together. Have you thought about staying here, with me? Alexandra, looking at him in surprise, living together? I do not know. It's a big step. Daniel, smiling, I know, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. I want to be with you, Alexandra. Alexandra, crying, yes, it's real. And although I am afraid, I want to be with you, Daniel. Daniel, hugging her tightly, you don't have to be afraid. Together, we can tackle anything. Later, Daniel has gone out to do some shopping, leaving Alexandra alone in the house. As Alexandra picks up the breakfast dishes, she notices a flash in the ceiling. Looking up, she sees Cupid sitting on a beam, watching her with a smile. Alexandra, annoyed, Cupid. What do you think you're doing? Cupid, smiling, good morning to you too, Alexandra. Enjoying love? Alexandra, enjoying it? You've gotten me into trouble. How could you do this to me? Cupid, to do what to you? You know I did it because I saw you bitter and sad. I thought love would do you good. Alexandra, and do you think shooting an arrow at me was the best way to do it? Cupid, well, it seems to have worked, doesn't it? Tell me, are you happy? Alexandra, annoyed and surprised, well. That you want me to answer. Cupid, no, really. Are you happy, tell me, would you rather be in the Elysium, cold and bored, reading a book, or here, with him, loving and kissing him? Alexandra, going from angry to rethinking her new emotions, well, to be honest, yes, I had never been happy and for the first time I feel alive. Cupid, love is the most special thing that exists, because it changes us, transforms us. It's not just about joy and happiness, but about the challenges, growth, and deep connection that is created between two souls. You were always sad, and I knew you needed this more than you wanted to admit. Alexandra, with a growing smile, you might be right. It's not easy, but every moment with him is worth it. It has changed me profoundly and for the better. But now what do I do? Cupid, I don't have a definitive answer for you, Alexandra. But what I can tell you is to be sincere and to let yourself be carried away by your heart. It's been a month since Alexandra decided to stay on Earth with Daniel. The couple has adapted to life together, enjoying each other's love and companionship. However, the outside world is beginning to show signs of imbalance. Alexandra and Daniel are sitting on the couch, watching the news on TV. The headlines are alarming: earthquakes, tidal waves, fires, and dormant volcanoes starting to activate. The images show devastation and chaos in various parts of the world. Alexandra looks at the screen with an expression of concern and guilt. She knows that her absence from the Elysium has upset the balance of the world. Daniel, looking at the news in amazement, I can't believe what's going on. Alexandra, thinking to herself, this is my fault. Although she does not want to leave and her love for Daniel is strong, Alexandra understands that she must return to the Elysium to restore order. His heart feels torn between his duty and his love, but he knows he has no choice. A week later, as sunlight gently streams in through the windows, illuminating the room where Daniel is still sleeping. Alexandra wakes up early, knowing that today is the day she must make a difficult decision. She approaches Daniel, who is still in bed, with tears in her eyes, begins to kiss him more intensely than ever. Daniel, waking up with a smile, good morning, my love. Why are you crying? Alexandra, kissing him again, her tears mingling with the kisses, Daniel, there's something very important I need to tell you, something I've been hiding and I can't keep to myself anymore. Daniel, worried, what's going on, Alexandra? You can tell me anything. Alexandra, taking a deep breath, I'm not an ordinary woman. I am death. And I came here to guide your mother's soul, to the other side, to the world of the dead. She's fine, Daniel. She was a wonderful woman, I have seen her, and I know that she rests in peace. Daniel, surprised and trying to assimilate, no. No way. Alexandra, crying openly, kissing him passionately, it's true, Daniel. I never imagined that on that trip I would find love. But my absence from the Elysium has caused an imbalance in the world. Earthquakes, tidal waves, volcanoes, all of that is my fault. Daniel, he says, but Alexandra, why didn't you tell me this before? We could have found a solution together. Alexandra, I was scared. Afraid of losing you, afraid of what you'd say. But now, I have no choice. I must return to restore balance. If I don't, the consequences will be catastrophic. Daniel, holding her tightly, I don't want to lose you, Alexandra. I love you. I don't know how I can go on without you. Alexandra, caressing his face, kissing him one last time with a lot of passion. I love you too, Daniel. But I must do this. It is my duty. The Elysium is where I maintain the order of the world, and my absence has caused this chaos. I promise that I will always be with you, in your heart and in your memories. Alexandra goes out into the courtyard of the house, heartbroken and crying. She prepares to leave Daniel and return to the Elysium. The portal begins to open when suddenly, Daniel appears with his suitcases, with a determined look. Daniel, firmly, I'm going with you. Alexandra, surprised and worried, Daniel, you can't. The Elysium is not a place for humans. You can't come with me. Daniel, holding his hand, I don't care. I can't live without you, Alexandra. Wherever you go, I go. Alexandra, crying, hugging him tightly, Daniel, this is very dangerous. You don't know what can happen if you come with me. Daniel, kissing her passionately, I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. I love you, and I'm not going to be separated from you. Alexandra, I don't want to leave you my love either. The portal opens completely, shining with an intense light. Alexandra and Daniel, holding hands, step forward, ready to face together any challenge that the road to the Elysium presents to them. They then cross the portal together, their hands clasped as they traverse the barrier between worlds. However, for a human being, the journey through the portal turns out to be more complicated and dangerous than they imagined. A whirlwind of energy and light envelopes them, shaking them violently. For Daniel, the journey is extremely dangerous. Daniel, shouting, Alexandra, don't let me go. Alexandra, in a desperate voice, I'll never let you go, Daniel. The forces of the portal pull them in different directions, spreading their hands little by little. In a desperate attempt to keep Daniel by her side, Alexandra decides to show her true form and full strength as Death. His appearance changes to an imposing and powerful figure, surrounded by a dark and fearsome aura. Alexandra, screaming at the top of her lungs, I won't let you go. Finally, they reach the other side of the portal, falling to the floor of the Elysium. Daniel lies motionless, and for a moment, Alexandra fears the worst. Alexandra, Daniel, please wake up. Don't leave me. As his kisses full of love and anguish run across his face, a faint sigh escapes Daniel's lips. Little by little, he opens his eyes, regaining his life. Daniel, Alexandra, where are we? Alexandra says with tears but happy, we are in the Elysium. We did it, my love. You are here, with me. Daniel, well, for Death, you don't know much about it. Alexandra, laughing and kissing him passionately, I love you, Daniel. Thank you for not giving up. It has been many years since Daniel and Alexandra crossed the portal to the Elysium, and now, they live a full and happy life with their two sons, Daniel Jr. and Jose, who are handsome young people full of life. Both have found love and are accompanied by their beautiful girlfriends. Alexandra, laughing, Daniel, Jose, come with your girlfriends, the coffee is ready. Jose, thank you very much Mom, look at my brother and I, then we will go to the movies with our girlfriends. Alexandra, it's okay, my babies, just be careful children when you walk through the portal.
Thank you for watching this video.